Yesterday was an extremely dramatic day for Americans and Canadians. You see, I'm referring to Kendrick Lamar coming back and igniting the beef with Drizzy Drake. With a track so nameless, one can only assume it came straight from his heart, or should I say, his heartless. That's right, we didn't get a title track. His heart has been stolen by the Canadian Six Devil. By now I'm reporting on this, and it could be too late. The aftermath of what I am about to show you and predictably, accurately, if you're seeing this, it's too late. Kendrick Lamar is about to drop a boogeyman album, one of which the likes we have never seen before. Coming off the heels of the nice guy, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, about loving yourself and your family and your faults, it seems we are getting the total eclipse opposite on this next project, which is going to come out on Friday the 13th to make it even spookier. A real spookily album. Some may say that this album will be the first Oogie Boogie album. Now allow me to extrapolate on that idea. Now I have some exclusive intel right here. One that just provides some irrefutable proof of to what exactly we're dealing with on this new Kendrick Lamar album. The Oogie Boogie origin story takes place in New Orleans. As you are all familiar with, Oogie Boogie's signature catchphrase from the new mouse streaming platform, I bet you're wondering how I became Oogie Boogie, where it follows a young African-American man in New Orleans working at his mother's gumbo shop. It paints an interesting tale of struggle and just what really could happen to someone to turn them into Oogie Boogie, to turn them into a sack of cursed worms. I bet you're wondering how I became Oogie Boogie. Each episode begins, and I'm willing to bet that that is exactly how the next album is going to start. Why? Because Kendrick Lamar is playing at the New Orleans Super Bowl. I know. I was shocked too when I discovered this revelation. We just have to Oogie deal with it. And in case you haven't guessed it by now, who is the star of this Oogie Boogie show? Macklemore. I know. Bob really was doing it with that one. They really wanted Frank Underwood to play Oogie Boogie, but instead they opted for Macklemore. Man, the Oogie Boogie origin story is crazy. Each episode goes by, and it always starts and ends the same. I bet you were wondering how I became Oogie Boogie. And we never get any closer. This mystery just goes on and on. That mouse company's cooking. So here's where things get really spooky. You are all familiar with the Drake care package, 100 gigs, where really after the accusations dropped against him on Not Like Us, Drake dropping 100 gigs of anything, well, I'll leave it at that. Featured in one of the songs, we hear the line, how many summers that are on? Like 10. Let's think about that for a second, all right? 10 summers. He's not talking about this summer. If we go back 10 years ago, I guess it's 2013, who was the biggest artist of 2012? That's right. I know exactly what you're thinking. Macklemore. Here we go, this is a moment. Macklemore. So Drake is saying that he's the new Macklemore. Huh. What else happened that year? Have you guessed it? That's right. The great famous Kendrick snub from Macklemore. My God. It's all making so much sense. It's all making so much schmense. I didn't want to believe it too. This whole time, we're getting this boogeyman persona directed at seemingly Jersey Drake. But if you listen to the untitled track that was dropped, it becomes a little superfluous and ambient about who exactly the smoke is for. That's why I think it's about Macklemore. Yeah, that's right. Kendrick is coming to retake what is his. After he got that bullshit apology over text by Mackie, oh, it's on. Oh, it's on. You want to talk about internet games? That boy started it. That boy is Macklemore. Now, some lyrics that are mentioned quite a few times in this new Kendrick song. It's time to let the party die. What did he mean by this? Letting the party die could indicate a few things. One, a changing of the Zeitgeistian guard of people's interest in very surface level music to just numb the pain of existence. And that we are transitioning into a much more thought-provoking, engaging, personal growth style of music. Or he could be referring to the death of Can't Hold Us. Can't Hold Us? What do you mean? When's the last time you've been to a Christian wedding, huh? You go there, you play Can't Hold Us? Even Jesus is going to come down for a little jig, okay? I've seen it. I've seen it. And I think if you want any more proof, look no further than the titles. They Not Like Us, Can't Hold Us. Us. The second film by Jordan Peele, where the premise is doppelgangers murdering people. Doppelgangers. Murder. I distinctly remember in the Twin Peaks movie, Fire Walk with Me, where Annie says, the good K-Dot is in the lodge. The Mr. Morale is the Twin Peaks lodge moment in his discography. He is no longer with us, and now we have this doppelganger, a Kenny ganger, a K-double. I just fear that it may be too late. What's done is done. The ball is in motion. It's up to you now. I bet you were wondering how I became Oogie Boogie. Mom always told me this gumbo was always best enjoyed in front of a Smells Like Us YouTube channel. And I couldn't agree more.